Good morning. How's everyone out there doing today? This is Amy Hamilton, author of The Project Manager Life is a Project, and I'm broadcasting for the first time in my displaced life as a federal employee. And I've been waiting until I got a bit more organized. And you know what I realized? Back to the principles of risk management, just roll with it. And I'm not going to get much more organized at this point because I haven't had power in 2 days. And so what I've been doing is going to my house with no power, spending time with my pets, and then finding hotels. I was lucky enough, and I will say I'm very fortunate in my life that I had some Marriott rewards certificates that I could use for some free nights that I was able to cash in. And so for those of you who might not know, I am in Gary, Indiana, right outside of a steel mill area. And today I'm actually broadcasting from the Residence Inn in Hammond, Indiana. It's right on the border with Illinois. It's the last stop before you cross into the Illinois border. And one thing I'll say is when it comes to risk management, be creative, be prepared. I had no idea that my power was going to be out for this long. And one of the great things about the Marriott Residence Inns is that they have refrigerators. So I was able to take my food out of my refrigerator and my freezer and load it up into some cooler bags, my thanks to Walmart for my pink igloo cooler. And I was able to get everything together, find places to stay. And one of the important things to me for not having power was the fact that it is finals time right now. And so I had students who, their grades depend on this. This could actually impact my students graduating. So I had to prioritize that. So I've been commuting basically between my house to these hotels to make sure that I could take care of my students and so they can graduate on time, not getting held up. So during times of natural disaster, you might have to do this kind of thing. And right now, my blog is pivoting a bit, and for my blog posts, I talked a lot in the past about how do you use project management skills and apply them into your day-to-day life to be more organized and to achieve your goals. And right now, I am really in the process of adjusting from my life in Virginia to my life now in Gary, Indiana, as a displaced federal employee who took the fork in the road. So I hope everybody can start joining me on a regular basis and give me your advice as well on how do you shift your lifestyle? How do you practice frugal living? A big shout out to my sister, also to Liz, the clearance queen. I follow her on Facebook. She is amazing. How do you take advantage of deals when you realize you are going to be living on a much more restricted budget? So we are going to be talking about that triple constraint of time versus quality versus your finances. What can you do? We are in a time of tariffs right now. Been reading a lot in the news. What things should you buy right now? And like I said, in a choice like this right now, I was like, okay, I have to take care of my students. At first, when I didn't think the power outage was going to be that long, I found a local cafe that I could go to. At another point, I went to the local McDonald's. They had power. One of the scary things about this power outage here in Indiana is they were actually without power at the Walmart. And when a Walmart supercenter doesn't have power, then you're really in some problems, right? And it was super interesting. I also live near this giant Bass Pro Shop, right? And we were joking around, some of us at the cafe, like, hey, if Bass Pro Shop didn't have power, what do they do? Just set up the generators, get them going. So look at your own risk management. And I will say that I was not at all prepared for an emergency situation like this right now. And now I am really looking at what can I do for backup generators? What can I do in my personal life? For those who looked at some of my initial posts, one of the things I talk a lot about is, dealing with fire. So I am set up right now where I have my fire extinguisher set up, my fire blankets, things like that. So, you have to do your own risk management in life. So as I go through this, hopefully I'll get more organized. But you know what? I decided I can't just put it off anymore. So I'm going to start vlogging here. I think that's the right term with the V, and as well as my blog, which is down here in the banners, is Life as a Project ASH. I'm going to be sharing product reviews and hopefully just sharing everybody what it's like to take the fork and go from living in Arlington, Virginia, a mile and a half south of the Pentagon, to Gary, Indiana, living between steel mills. Please tune in, and I look forward to getting to know all of you. Please leave your comments.